All right. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Tim Philback. You're going to have to excuse me for a minute. I'm going to have to do some of the meditation techniques I learned in Kung Fu. We've been talking about the F-ups of our state government, and it just has me a little riled up. And this interview isn't about that tonight. Not, at least not exactly. But that's part of the thing is we got to do a better job of taking on the state, taking on the gross incompetence we see out there. I listened to a lot of people today. A lot of people are out there. They're being very rational. All things considered, they're being very calm. I didn't talk to anybody today that were out of their skull. Frankly, 30 seconds before we came on the line, I was more riled up than they are, and I'm not the one that's waiting for unemployment. But some of the solutions you hear out there are good, and some of the solutions you hear out there are not good because people get upset and they want to act. And I think we're the party of reason. A lot of us have studied, where these actions fail and where they're good, and we got to get out there more. And that starts at the county level. So that's why we're on with Tim Philback. And he's the county chair for Barren County. And my understanding is your very next thing you're going to do as a county is you're going to have a get out the how to spell it so that people don't misspell it when they create videos. Is that right, Tim?
Well, we're all voting for the Barren, so
yeah.
Either way,
we got a little Either spelling's good with us. Sorry, I was in a rush getting back. I was like, I didn't create that last night. And then Brad Barren just spelled Barren, not that matches his name. And I'm like, what? Oh, crap. But what are we going to be doing to grow Barren County?
Well, we've got to get out and start talking to folks. We're pretty spread out in the county. I know we've got Miss Sherry and Mr. Brandon Wright up in Cave City. And so we got to get out shaking hands, county fairs, any kind of protest, anything, letting people know that they do have a third option.
The mug. You like the mug? Now this is a camera trick. It's not really the size of my torso. It's just about the size of my head. Sorry about that, Tim.
That's all right. Yeah, the whole COVID thing kind of messed us all up, but things are starting to open up, and that's
right. Well, though, there's a lot of stressed people out there,
and they should be.
And this is our time, not necessarily because we get anything for free. This is our time because this is when we need to be out there working hard. This is when we need to be out there listening to people and showing them that we really care, and then seeing if we can present some peaceful solutions, some solutions that don't involve hurting people and taking their stuff.
Right. I think a big one we can own right now, and we need to own it, is the unemployment.
Yes.
This is sickening. They didn't have a plan. I don't believe they have a plan.
No.
And they're just trying to keep the people at bay. Well, this is our government. This is our money. How many unconstitutional orders has King Andrew passed up in Versailles? When does it stop?
All of them.
Exactly.
Something I touched on in some other outlets, but there was when I was in Frankfurt today, there was a sign on the door telling people when and where they could go get help, and it was sourced through a news outlet. You know, the people the people in the building, they couldn't put together. You know, you go here at this day. It was you know, it was sourced by a, you know, they didn't know for sure. It's a little CYA. If this is
Yeah.
wrong, blame the news. We just work for the government. How the heck should we know where we're going to be helping you? And I understand it was different departments, but it's like, really? You didn't have a better contact than the news media? Really? And there was I'm going to try to get the video out tonight. I have to do some blurring of some people's faces, because I caught on some people were uncomfortable. So I told them, this isn't live, I'll blur you out. And they seemed very relieved, so I'm going to go back and do it. But there's this nice security guard came out, did the best he could to help. And, you know, that wasn't a lot. And he led with, I can't help. And I don't have that much information. But he was out there sharing what he knew. And that's more than all the rest of the state government was. And, you know, somebody had some questions for me. He says, well, all I can tell you is you know, to watch the governor in the evenings. And I'm like, well, isn't it a little more reasonable for somebody to update a website than expect a quarter of the state to tune into the governor every night? It's like, come on, this is nuts. What else is nuts is I'm stealing your interview. I'm not interviewing. I'm stealing.
Yeah, it's a little 1984-ish.
Oh man. Oh,
watch the governor on the king. We must watch the king.
Yeah, I don't like it. Let's move on. So you mentioned, are they going to have county fairs?
I haven't heard anything yet. I think I heard the state fair might be on, which is crazy because
right.
I mean, that's huge.
Well, you know something I know you can't do personally is like what I just did today, because I basically took the year off to do this, which I realize is insane, but hey. But you know, not everybody can do that, and you can't do that, and you can't just skip random days to make rallies. But if you could grow your county affiliate a little bit, you might end up with some people who could.
Yes. Yeah, we've grown fairly quick with the addition to Brandon Wright and Miss Sherry Crowder.
Brandon, if you're listening, you're running. I need to interview you too, and hopefully interviewing you and not just rant. Sorry. So how many are you up to?
I believe it's 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. I believe. I'd have to check with Randall. But yeah.
For anybody who's not already part of the party, Randall Daniel is the D2 chair. So yeah, he would be the one. He actually gets notification before any of the county chairs do.
Nice. But yeah, I'd like to see maybe 2 more this year. That would be a big win.
Cool.
But I'm hoping with running, you know, to get the Libertarian Party out there, and then somebody else can run next time.
Yeah, that's the kind of the Libertarian candidate battle cry is, who, me?
Yeah, but you know, somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. Well, you know, people in your county, and we've touched on this before, but you actually have a lot of activities that people could help out with, because you could completely selflessly allow them to help your campaign. But there's Brad Barren, there's myself, And then, of course, there's Joe Jorgensen and Spike Cohen. And there's, just the general spreading of freedom and liberty. How, how do you like to do that? How do you imagine your members of the county affiliate just getting out word?
Just word of mouth. Yeah. You get the
Right.
right group. You get into find the right person. And I mean, at Walmart's, dollar stores, just people. I wear taxation and stuff, and it starts a conversation. A lot of us. I'm not a person. I'm going to run up to somebody and go, "Hey." Now, at the county fair, if you make eye contact with me, I'm talking to you.
Sure.
It's just getting it out there, letting folks know that we think this is unacceptable. What's going on in Frankfort and Washington, and we're not one of the same parties with the same ideas, and it's the
Right.
same. And the younger generation is seeing this. So
Absolutely. I was watching Joe Jorgensen today, and I've not read this book yet, but I think it was Gen I. But it's talking about how the generation coming up now is kind of very used to opt-in and very used to a la carte. And Joe seems to think that generation is going to be extremely libertarian. And we know from experience that if you try to introduce somebody to new ideas, when they're 40, it doesn't always go as well. Something about old dog and new tricks, and yeah. But it's kind of ironic. One of the books that indirectly got me into libertarianism was a book on a topic called emergent intelligence, and the author just flat out um, wrote that if you were over like 21 years of age, to not even bother buying it because you're not going to get it. I'm like, I'm not sure about that marketing, but I was 23 and I bought it, so maybe it works.
Yeah.
But we gotta get out there. We gotta get out there where the trouble is.
That we do. Yeah. And there's so many opportunities. I mean, with the whole Breonna Taylor, all the race relations and everything, and then now the state is failing everybody.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's disheartening, but hey, if there's enough of us that'll step up and at least try, if I don't win, hey, I gave it a shot, and we tried. But to sit back and say nothing, no. We gotta talk. We gotta be heard.
Yeah, that's a good point, James. We do sometimes get some latecomers. James was 44, and he bought. And there was a nice gentleman running for presidential candidate this year at our convention, our state convention, and he ended up not being able to answer some questions to some let's say more seasoned libertarians liking. And I kind of felt that was just where he had shown up so late, and it takes a while. You gotta you sometimes gotta kind of marinate in liberty for a few years, and you'll think you got it, and then one day there's this thing, and you respond, and you're like, "What did I just say?"
Oh yeah.
Let me think about that a minute.
Yeah. Actually, funny story. It's helping with Joe Hunter and Warren County party at the fair, and the gentleman was walking past. We made eye contact, gave him a head nod. I was thinking, okay, here we go. I'm gonna open it up, and I was like, I said, hey, are you happy with the governor or something, or what's going on in Frankfurt? And he was like, no, but he kind of kept walking. He slowed a little bit. And so I'm thinking, okay, I've got to hurry. I've got to, I want to try and pull him back. And I said, we got John Hicks and Ann Cormican running for governor. You got a third option. And he's like, yeah. And he's starting to drift. And I go, and they're pro-cannabis. And he stopped. And I'm like, oh, yeah, here we go. And he turns around, he looks at me, and he says, I don't like cannabis. And I was like, yeah, but man, what about the vets?
Yeah.
It shocked me, and it was like, I got you. But yeah.
Yeah. That's like, do you like border violence for illegal drugs being ferried in? Do you like it when cops take your stuff and they don't have to prove it was ever involved in anything bad? Do you like it when they kick in your door at 2 a.m. because it was a bad address, what had nothing to do with you, and the guy was under arrest anyway, but it had something to do with drugs, so it's justified, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
don't be depositing more than $10,000 in the bank because that looks suspicious, and don't habitually, deposit just less than 10,000, and certainly don't engineer it so it's less than 10,000.
Don't carry that.
Yeah, don't carry that. That goes back to taking your stuff. Oh my God, I don't do drugs. Well, I do caffeine and alcohol, but I mean, I back off those sometimes. I'm one of those guys. I'm like, do I really need a Sudafed? I think I can tough this one out. But I'm still against the prohibition, just because it does more harm than good, and you're not helping people. And if you do want to help them, you're going, let me help you get off drugs does not start with a gun. It's
yeah. Put them somewhere where they can still get drugs, but in an enclosed environment, it's not
right,
a good.
Right. But tell you, we don't like you smoking marijuana. We're going to put you in this big concrete building, and you can discuss with your new buddies what else you might want to try. You can swap some ideas, see how that goes. Here's just some new role models.
Yeah. Well, I guess what really aggravates me is I guess I kind of consider myself an average guy. And I've got family spread out across Kentucky, and extended family, and we've all had somebody in our family that has had trouble with addiction.
Sure.
Who stands up and fights for those folks? It's not the D's and the R's.
Right.
The law and order. We want to lock you in a cage.
Right.
So, and
I need help. What do you need help with? I'm addicted to something in the cage.
That's it. I actually kicked an addiction. Well, not really, but I don't smoke anymore. I smoked for 30 years. Pack a day. Chris Rodriguez, big vape guy. We got talking about it. Actually, him, Randall, and myself, when we was getting them to come on board. Randall asked a great question, and he's like, because he was totally against big tobacco, and here I am. I'm thinking, okay, what's he gonna do? I started cigarettes for $1.26 a pack. Now they're $6.50, $6.75, I think.
Oh man.
So way overtaxed. And I know it's worse in other states, but that doesn't make it right. But Randall asked him a question. He said, well, how do you see promoting vaping? He said, through education or legislation. And Chris was fired back with education. And that's what we got to do. We have to educate our young folks, talk to your kids, especially about the subjects that you don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs. It's we have to.
Right.
It's up to us. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I quit vaping or quit smoking.
You
Started
quit
vaping.
smoking, picked up vaping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But,
I mean, it took a long time, but we finally got a product that's better for nicotine addicts than cigarettes or chewing tobacco, um, any other form of tobacco for that matter. It's just a more controlled delivery, and by more controlled, I mean you have more control of the chemicals you end up getting. And that's the thing. You burn something and inhale it, it's probably bad for you. I mean, and I that's one of those caveats I give the marijuana. It's like it's all natural. It don't matter. Smoke's. I mean, campfire, piece of paper. Just in general, don't inhale smoke. Just don't. Now, I'm not gonna have anybody come after you with a gun for that. I'm probably not even gonna bash on you for that. I mean, plenty of people smoke around me, and I don't say a word. But it I don't want that to be confused with I think it's healthy.
oh, I knew it wasn't healthy. I just enjoyed doing it.
Sure.
And
All right.
yeah.
So, county fairs, if they let you.
Oh yeah.
Local meetups. What are you going to do for local? Can you meet up locally?
Uh, I need to actually check on that. I believe the local restaurants are back open. 33%, maybe 40%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this stage in the game, maybe you do Zoom meetings or something just to keep each other informed on local stuff. Like, hey guys, this is happening. What are we going to do about it?
Right.
Anything. And then, of course, there's social media. Everybody does social media. We're soaking in it.
It's worked. It's worked for the past two presidents.
Yeah, we gotta make it work for Barren County and D2.
Oh yeah, all those numbers. You see that? 40.
Yeah.
Was that 47?
I don't know. I'd like to double it though.
Oh, of course. Well, we got a call before we want.
Well, I've got an evil plan for doubling it. I'm just gonna have every county chair on the show and go, you'll double your county, right?
I'll take that challenge.
Right.
I'll try. No guarantees, but I will do my best.
Where do people need to contact you? Like if I mean, one thing of course is you can let me get the URL, but you can go to lpky.org and go to the sign up page. Let me actually get the URL for that and share it. And you can sign up there. I'm a very bad Rob for not having that prepared. But then also if they just want to talk, if they want to get to know the party a little bit better, or get to know you a little bit better. I mean, that's the thing. You would invite them to a meetup, but if you're not having meetups right now, you got to have an answer to that.
Right. Yeah. Facebook, any social media.
Just hit up Tim Philback or hit the affiliate page.
Either one. Barren County Libertarian Party. go to that page, go to my personal page, Tim Philback. You search it. There's only one of me.
Yeah, Tim Philback, Senior, Barren County. This is bad planning. I'm soaking up everybody's time doing a search that they could do themselves, but tell you what,
Yeah.
I will find that, and I will. Look, I found it. I'll put that on there too. I think I just put it on there twice, but that's okay. Yay! So you can go there, or you can just look up Tim Philback and ping him and see what you can do to join the Barren County Libertarian affiliate. And maybe you end up coming to some of the district events as well, and you can meet really awesome people like Randall Daniel and Brad Barren, and there's me. But well, I shouldn't have mentioned that. Lord knows how many I just ran off. All right, you have you got anything else for the people tonight, Tim?
Just hey, vote gold. Short and sweet.
Do what?
I said short and sweet. Just vote gold.
Vote go. Yeah.
Gold.
Gold. There you go. You can go to joj2020.com. And all right, cool. Thanks for joining me, Tim. Also, another really cheap way to do this is I do a pretty good job of keeping up with comments on here. So if you have any questions or you want me to make any introductions, just say, hey, who is that I look up again? It's Tim Philback, but just whatever I can do to facilitate, just make a comment and we'll get the connections made. Cool. Thank you, Tim.
Yep.
And I will, once you get the meetups going, I will try to endeavor to come down and visit one of those.
Cool. Sounds good. Love to have you.
All right. Cool. Later, man. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Night.